Hey guys, Willie here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2024 Mustang GT Premium.
And a big thanks to Chris and the rest of the management and staff here at AutoNation Ford in Brooksville, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Brooksville, Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And as for Chris.
And for those of you guys who don't know, Ford released the 7th generation Mustang this year for 2024. We already reviewed an EcoBoost and a base GT at around the $42,000 price point, and here we have the GT Premium. We also get the $2,900 high equipment group, making this an unbelievably loaded vehicle at this price point, as well as a $1,200 active quad tip exhaust and a $1,000 bronze appearance package, making this 2024 Mustang GT not just look the part, but sound the part as well. The 2024 GT Premium starts at $47,000. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So we get the black appearance here with the bronze contrast, bronze pony up front. Hopefully you can pick it up on camera, as well as the wheels and side badges, which we'll check out in 1 second. We get full LED headlamps too for the high and low beam. No front facing camera, no front parking sensors either, but we do get that all out rear. Definitely love the front end styling. Get the new heat extractor up top of the hood as well. Reminds me a little bit of what you would get from a 6th generation Camaro. A lot of this vehicle reminds me a little bit of the 6th generation Camaro, especially for the rear hip areas, but outside of that, like the front end styling and the interior is completely ground up new for 2024. The platform is a little bit similar to the S550, but it does make some tweaks and changes, and the power plant is also updated as well. This is the reason why I want to review this specific Mustang GT Premium for you guys. It's this wheel and tire setup. For about $1,000, which is a relatively decent value, we get these beautiful bronze contrasted 19-inch rims wrapped in Continental Pro Contact RX all-season tires. That's a complaint of mine. For this price point, we should get some summer performance tires, or at least get a contrasted tire setup out rear, giving us like 275, 285s, or like 305s if we're going to keep the all-season, because 255 wide all-seasons probably won't put the power down as well as this vehicle potentially could. We'll check that all out when we take this car for a drive. We mentioned 255 wide, 40 series sidewall, 19-inch rims, and a massive 6-piston front brake caliper, bronze contrasted 5.0 badge for the mid fender area, body color mirrors with LED turn signal on it, black rocker panel side skirt area, body color mirror with smart access for the driver and a front passenger, blind spot monitoring on the glass. I kind of wish we had a black roof or a bronze contrasted roof to fit in with this bronze theme, but it still looks really, really good with these wheels and tires. Out rear, we still get a 4-piston Brembo brake caliper. That is really impressive for a non-performance package Mustang GT. Same rear wheel and tire setup as far as dimensions. Still a 255 wide, 40 series sidewall, 19-inch rims. I kind of wish we had at least 275s out rear. The gas cap is pushed open with easy fill, 87 plus for this 5-liter V8 engine. That's also new. I believe for the previous generations, 91 plus was the recommended fuel choice. Out rear, we get full LED taillights, a bronze contrasted GT badge out rear, rear view camera, subtle body color lip spoiler. We get full rear parking sensing, reverse light underneath, and the quad exhaust tips. And speaking of the quad tips, let's fire up this 5-liter V8 engine up. So we lock it up, double click the engine start stop. Woo! And it sounds really good. So now that the vehicle's idled down, let's press this unlock followed by the lock button. Woo! Press it again. That's all for the function of the remote. I promise you guys, there is nobody sitting inside of this vehicle right now. But speaking of nobody sitting inside the vehicle, let me put this camera down, take a step inside, and really rev up this 5-liter V8 and show you guys this beautiful engine noise. Alright guys, that was the sound of the 5-liter V8 sold by Ford for the 2024 Mustang GT. And it sounds really good with this active exhaust. It's a whole nother level. The base GT we reviewed a few months back didn't have the active exhaust. It still sounded pretty good, but not nearly the same as what we have here. I can only imagine how it would sound if you throw like a cold air intake system to really bring out the induction for the interior. But with this active exhaust, we make more power, rated at 486 horsepower, 418 pound-feet of torque. Made it to this 10-speed automatic transmission. You can expect 0 to 60 in around 4 seconds, making it a true performance vehicle. And with this high equipment group on this GT Premium, when we step inside, you will see just the level of luxury that this vehicle packs for the price point. We also get a Mustang emblem or lettering for this engine bay. What you see is basically what we get. Hydraulic struts, we did not get that for the previous 2023 models, and a functional heat extractor also was not available for the previous models. Before we step inside, let's take a quick look at this window sticker, see any features that I haven't mentioned or will potentially miss on this 2024 GT Coupe Premium with the Oxford white exterior and the black onyx leather trimmed interior. Standard features, you guys can pause, take a look at all of these. We got the high equipment group for $2,900. That includes premier trim with color accent, security package, 360 assist, built-in navigation, as well as other features such as like heated and ventilated seats and a booming 9-speaker with a subwoofer Bang & Olufsen sound system. For $1,595, you get the 10-speed auto, $1,700 for the upgraded Brembo brakes, $1,000 for the bronze appearance package, $1,225 for the active exhaust. So about $8,400 in total options, $1,595 for the destination, totals us out right at $56,000. So yes, we are getting up there in price for a non-supercharged, non-performance package Mustang GT, but once we take a step inside, you'll see what I mean by this being just about as loaded of a Mustang as you're gonna get. Again, smart access for the driver and the front passenger, blind spot monitoring on the glass, shark fin style antenna up top. So up top, we have soft touch materials, leather stitching in the center, gushy soft leather armrest, auto one-touch windows, 3-person memory seats, lock and unlock, carbon fiber trim, and we get an aluminum door handle, aluminum accents for the bottom tier of the grab handle. Storage space isn't the most, but you'll probably squeeze a foot long in there. I wouldn't expect you to stack more than one on top of each other. We get 2 Bang & Olufsen speakers on the door panel, illuminated Mustang nameplate as we step inside. The seats are very comfortable, well bolstered, perforated in the center, heated and ventilated. We don't get power adjustments for the recline function, but you can slide and adjust the lumbar control all with power adjustments. Taking a step inside or a seat inside, we can really check it out. So foot on the brake, engine start stop, and everything fires right to life. First thing you notice, compared to the non-premium base GT that we reviewed in this channel, this is a way more premium looking interior. The screens are attached to each other. It's a 13.2-inch touchscreen and a 12.4-inch digital gauge display, and they're connected, which makes it look a lot more premium. Reminds me of something you would get from the new BMW cars. The steering wheel is also way better compared to the previous generation. Fat 10 and 2 bolstering notch, 9 and 3 feels great in your hand. It's thick. It's a very similar overall dimension to a Camaro steering wheel, but the leather just feels significantly softer. We get a flat bottom too, perforated leather for the inside portion, faux carbon trim, aluminum on the inside, adaptive cruise control, adjustments for the infotainment on the right side. This button in the left corner adjusts the steering weight. Right now we're in roll mode. You can also put it in comfort to make things a lot lighter, and sport mode to make things a little bit more engaging and heavier through the feel. The adjustments for this infotainment include fuel economy, tire pressure, gauge details, Mustang status, and trip 1 right back where we started. The tach goes to about 7,500 RPM, so this 5-liter V8 is a screamer. The speedometer only goes to 160, but I believe this vehicle is limited around there anyway. It would be nice to see like a 200-mile-an-hour speedometer like you'd see on a Camaro SS, but if you're not going to get into that speed anyway, not really a big deal. Digital speedo next to it, fuel level on the right side, gear we're currently in on the bottom. You can see the active exhaust on and the sport steering in the opposite corner, coolant temperature on the left side. We get auto headlamps and high beams, the adjustments over here on the left side. Trunk release, the stocks have a really satisfying click. We mentioned the auto headlamps and high beams, and we get auto rain sensing wipers. Really appreciated feature for the price point. Latch for the tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Hopefully you get a good look at the aluminum outline pedals. The dashboard is also all soft touch material. The touchscreen, this is where you have your adjustments for the heated and ventilated seats and heated steering wheel, and all the adjustments for the climate. That's a thumbs down in my opinion. I wish that we had hard buttons for the climate settings, but if you use automatic climate control, once you adjust the temperature, it's really not a big deal, or it doesn't make a difference where the adjustments are, because for the most part you're going to be leaving it alone. To go home, you press to the left of this clock in the corner. It takes a second, and this is your home screen with a map, audio, and the phone connections on the right side. You can see the overall settings, features, and apps. Of course, wireless, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto with a booming Bang & Olufsen sound system. We'll check out this touchscreen. Once it loads up, the response is excellent. Just like an iPhone, responds really well to the touch. Not quite sure why everything is dark. It's almost noon out here, broad daylight, but we have a dark display here for the screen. We also have side screens. You can see trip 1, fuel economy, audio, phone, and my personal favorite probably be just leave it in the fuel economy screen with the map in the background. We mentioned a dual zone auto climate beneath on the bottom part of this map. Full carbon trim outlining the air vents with some aluminum outlining the air vents themselves. Engine start stop in the corner, it's outlined in red. My Mustang modes, you simply press this button. Here we have track apps, auxiliary gauges, custom mode, my color, and the cluster theme. Let's take a quick look at these auxiliary gauges. You got your lateral G-forces, your braking and acceleration G-forces, battery voltometer, and the oil pressure. You can go back, check out the track apps. Here we have the acceleration timer, brake performance, and the lap timer with line lock in the opposite corner. Of course, we're not going to check out any of those during this review. Custom mode, you can set up your profile to have the base drive mode. Everything's set in track, just like I would like it with the traction control on to keep us as safe as possible. Cool. We can also adjust the my color for the interior and the cluster theme. So this is the match drive mode. So depending on the drive mode you're in, it's going to adjust. This is the normal layout, the digitally illuminated analog gauges. This is sport, looks pretty cool. That's a screen that we were just at, and track, making things look a lot more aggressive. This is a screen we were in when we reviewed the base model GT. Beneath that we have calm, which will leave us with just a tack in the center with a digital speedo. I'm not the biggest fan of calm. And Fox body 87 to 93. This is also a really cool way to look at the gauges. These are probably my personal favorite gauges to look at all times, so we will leave it there. Those Fox body gauges are pretty cool. Whoever thought about that from Ford, definitely a thumbs up, and some pretty cool attention to detail for this interior. Anyway though, we have our traction control button that we can turn off, hazards in the center, favorites, and our max defroster with a hard button. The volume dial has a pretty high quality feel to it. Wireless charging pad, USB A and C port, and a 12 volt right next to it. We get leather stitching for our knee will often hit, 10-speed automatic transmission, the backup camera, super high quality crisp resolution, guidance lines and trajectory with parking sensors out rear as well. We didn't mention the paddle shifters. They have this aluminum outline to it, making them feel a lot more premium than competition. 2 cup holders, you'll fit 24-ounce bottles no problem. The armrest is a trillion times softer than what you would get from the 6th generation Camaro, and it's decently spacious. You'll fit probably 5 or 6 12-ounce cans in there and an additional 12 volt as well. Nice slot for a pen. The glove box above it says Mustang with some aluminum and faux carbon. The glove box itself is hard plastic on the outside, not lined in felt, but it's pretty large. You'll fit 20 license plates in there with no problem, with some leather stitching right above it. We get a frameless auto dimming rear view mirror, 3 garage home link settings on the visor. The interior lights are LED. Sunglass holder as well. That's about it though, guys, for the interior, at least for the front seat. Let's hop out back just for argument's sake, show you guys how much space is offered back there, or a lack of space back there. So behind my seat settings, even if I could possibly fit here, let's see what we're looking at. For someone that's a little bit over 6 feet tall, sitting behind uncompromised seat settings, you saw I did not move the seat at all. So even though I didn't move the seat, my knees have somewhere to go. I wouldn't call this knee room because they're lodged right into the seat, and my head is lodged right into the ceiling. So to be comfortable back here, you would have to be under 5'5", 5'4", but a 6 foot tall person can theoretically squeeze back here, but it's not going to be a comfortable experience at all. To hop out of here, just pull this latch up. The seat doesn't slide, but I guess it doesn't need to, because at the end of the day, you're probably never putting anybody back there unless you seriously just do not like them. Okay, we did it, and without falling too. Taking a step out towards the cargo space, underneath the trunk latch is a button, and we get hydraulic struts to help us shoot open this trunk a little bit easier, and a pretty large opening, especially compared to the Camaro, compared to like an actual family sedan. No, this opening's tiny, and the cargo space isn't the most practical. The overall trunk space is comparable to a Camaro, but with the opening being this large, you can fit much larger objects like Costco boxes. You can slide in some TVs, and speaking of TVs, You got the 50/50 fold down rear seats, and I'd expect you to fit probably a 50-inch TV back here. You're not fitting that in the back of a Camaro. You're probably not even gonna fit a 32 in the back of a Camaro. We get a subwoofer back here too for the Bang & Olufsen sound system. We can shut this trunk right down, walk around this 2024 Mustang GT one more time. Hopefully you can hear those exhaust tips rumbling. This thing sounds sweet and it looks downright gorgeous. And from a styling perspective, when I first originally saw this vehicle online, I wasn't really thrilled with the appearance of it, but since I started seeing this more and more in person, I am very, very impressed. Previously, my favorite Mustang when it came to looks was the 2013 and 2014. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. But with these bronze wheels and upgraded Brembo brakes, as well as the black accents you get all throughout this interior, this is without question, in my opinion, the best looking Mustang, at least one that I've been able to get my hands on to this day. Performance-wise, let's take this 2024 Mustang GT Premium out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2024 Ford Mustang GT Premium. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions though, the throttle feels pretty sensitive in track mode. The low-end torque is solid, but not quite as strong as what you would get from the Camaro 6.2. But one thing that this thing does that the Camaro 6.2 doesn't is just the way that it ridiculously roars up top. The rev match downshifts are nice. Mid-range is pretty good too. Nice rev match downshifts, but even with these rev match downshifts, we're only going to like halfway through this rev range. It'll take a lot to really rev out this vehicle. You're gonna be moving. All right, guys, we can try out a real world turning radius right here, and then try one out starting off in first gear. So first gear, let me guess. Woo! You look down and you are moving. This thing has a lot of power. And another thing that they've done with this transmission, for the previous generation, I know it's the same transmission, but for the previous generation, it felt a lot jerkier and snappier. This feels a lot smoother. It feels a lot more like the 10-speed that you had in the Camaro for the 6th generation. Not that the transmission was any different, but just felt a little bit smoother at low speeds compared to what the previous Mustang did. You try a couple more rev match downshifts, second gear, on the gas. That will not get old, I can promise you that. This thing is a monster. And cruising along, the wind noise is unbelievably limited. I'm gonna do a window check. We might get dual panes. We do not get dual panes, but the wind noise is unbelievably quiet. The road noise is also just about non-existent. These Continental Pro Contact tires are some of the best in the business. We'll try another acceleration. Second gear. It is ridiculous how far this thing can rev. Throwing a little bit quicker than we should. Ooh. Guys, this thing can handle too. We're not even coming close to its limit. I don't think there's a street on this planet where I can legally explore this vehicle's limit without ending up risking going to jail. We'll throw it in right here quicker than we should. Woo! Good handling, good composure. It is a beast. We'll try one more real world turning radius out. See if we can make it here in one try. We can. Really sharp turning radius. Good low end torque too. Again, it's not as good as the pushrod 6.2 from GM, but it is right up there. Looks like a good opportunity to try an acceleration out off the line. So off the line, we're not just gonna floor it because it's gonna roast the tires, but try to get a good launch. Oh yeah. And through the turn, the steering feels really good. Not quite as good as the Camaro, but it feels so much better than it did for the previous generation. Taking a step out here. Woo! Yeah, guys, this thing is a monster. We don't have to beat it up a whole lot further. Let's actually take it out of the track modes. So coming from track, let's try it out in just normal mode and see what changes up. So the exhaust also in normal. Steering gets so much lighter. Wow, the difference between track and normal in the steering is monumental. The throttle response, still really good, but it does get a little bit lighter. The exhaust gets a little bit quieter, but it still sounds really good. The isolation from the road, I am so ridiculously impressed with. I don't know if it's these Continental tires or just the revisions that Ford has made, but the road noise is quiet. The wind noise is just about non-existent. I wish the steering was a little bit heavier. I wish the Sport was the normal steering, and then we had like a little bit more of oomph for the Sport steering. But if you want the more performance-oriented Mustang with a 5-liter V8, you should probably check out the Dark Horse. I'm sure that would address all of my concerns. One more time, normal mode. Let's just see what changes up at higher speeds on the gas. Woo! Wow, that thing kicks just as hard. Wow, and the brakes. These brakes are excellent. Overall, guys, if you're looking for a top-notch premium sports car, but you don't want to spend over 50 to 60,000 bucks. I know the Mustang, it seems like a little bit of a boy racer comparison to like a BMW or like an AMG Mercedes, obviously, but you're getting that level of performance here, and you're getting just about that level of tech and interior comfort, especially with these heated and ventilated seats, Bang & Olufsen sound system, updated infotainment system. This is a serious competitor to a BMW or AMG Mercedes, giving you similar performance while costing tens of $thousands less. If that's what you're looking for, guys, I would definitely recommend checking out the 2024 Mustang GT. And if you want the premium features, for an extra 5,000 bucks of a base price compared to the base, you can get this premium package, which gives you a ton of luxury goodies. And for an extra about 3,000, you get the high equipment group, which literally transforms us into a truly premium sports car. And again, if that's what you're looking for, guys, I would definitely recommend checking it out. And a big thanks to Chris at AutoNation Ford in Brooksville, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Brooksville, Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And ask for Chris. And huge thanks to all you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed in this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.